Hey folks, Ben Greenfield here in my kitchen in Spokane, Washington, and I'm here because over in Lava Magazine I have an article entitled When to Take Supplements. So in this video today, what I want to show you is which supplements that I take and when I take them. So hopefully you can take a little bit away from this in terms of not just dumping your money down the drain when it comes to the type of supplements that you're taking, but making sure that you're really optimizing your experience and getting the most out of your supplements. Enjoy the video.
Okay, we're going to start off with multivitamins. Now this is a liquid multivitamin. I prefer to use liquid because it's a little bit better absorbed. And when you want to take a multivitamin is with a meal. And the reason for that is on an empty stomach, a multivitamin can cause some acid sensitivity, a little bit of nausea. So most of the time you're going to want to take a multivitamin with a meal. Now the only exception to that would be if you're not taking just a single multivitamin spectrum, but you're taking a vitamin B12 supplement. So something like this is what I would take like before a race. It's a little bit of caffeine, a little bit of B12. B12 is actually best absorbed on an empty stomach. So if you're taking a full multivitamin spectrum, take it with a meal, for example, with breakfast in the morning. If you're taking just something to boost up your energy, like a B12 supplement, then take it on an empty stomach right before a training session or a race. Give it anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes to hit your stomach. Now, this is a fish oil. Whether you take a fish oil or a flaxseed oil, what you want to do is take something like this with fats, because anytime you consume fats with fats, they're better absorbed. Now, the other issue is that if you take something like this prior to a workout or a race, a lot of times it can kind of sit in your stomach and not digest quite too well, especially if you're working out at a high intensity. So if you're using a fish oil, definitely practice with it before your intense training sessions, before you use it prior to a race. But the time that you'd want to take something like this would be, for example, with breakfast or with dinner, where you have a little bit of fat in that meal to assist with absorption. Now, this is an iron supplement. I personally don't take an iron supplement, but my wife does. A lot of times female endurance athletes have higher iron needs. You would actually want to take iron on an empty stomach. So technically mid-morning or mid-afternoon would be a good time for something like this. Now, what you don't want to do is take iron with something like a mineral supplement. So for example, I take ZMK. I wouldn't want to take these two together because this iron can actually interfere with the absorption of the calcium. So for example, if I were taking iron, I could take this in the mid-morning and then take my mineral supplement before bed. And that way I'm not getting any absorption interference. But the iron should be taken on an empty stomach for ideal absorption. Now, as I mentioned, I do take a mineral supplement. Sometimes I'll use a spray-on magnesium, and sometimes I'll take something like this, which is a calcium, magnesium, and mineral supplement that technically is designed to be taken before bed to assist with sleep. And that's actually a very good time to take your minerals, is before bed. You don't necessarily have to take minerals with a meal, but mineral absorption is enhanced with a meal. So I would recommend that if you're going to take minerals, the best time to take them would be just a little bit after dinner while you still have food in your stomach, about an hour before bed or so that they can assist with your nighttime sleep patterns and also still be best absorbed with that little bit of food in your stomach. Now, this is one of those high fiber greens type of supplements that is getting very popular among athletes these days for supplying a range of superfoods, you know, blue-green algae, spirulina, things of that nature. The issue with things like this is they can a lot of times cause a gas or bloating or bowel movements. So right prior to a race, you'd want to be careful with something like this. You'd also want to be careful with taking something like this with a fat supplement, like a fish oil, or even a vitamin that contains a lot of fat-based multivitamins, because that fiber can decrease the absorption of the fat a little bit. So if you were going to take a multivitamin and a fish oil capsule in the morning, you'd want to take a green supplement, for example, in the evening before you get to bed. You're still going to get absorption of a lot of nutrients like this, and it'll work pretty well. If you're going to take this before a workout, try and give yourself about 3 to 4 hours before the workout, if you can, to take something like a green supplement, whether it's in capsule or in powder form. Now, this is a probiotic. Probiotics like Acidophilus or Lactobacillus, they're very important for maintaining a healthy digestive system and also boosting up your immune system, since a lot of your immunity is located in your digestive tract. The idea is you want to take stuff like this on an empty stomach. So the best time to take a probiotic would be, for example, at night prior to bed, a few hours after your evening meal. So for example, you could pop these right before you go to bed at night just to help build up the flora in your digestive tract. And this is something you wouldn't necessarily want to take with a meal. With a meal, absorption can be inhibited a bit with something like a probiotic. Now, this is a digestive enzyme supplement. As you'd probably guess, you would want to take something like this with a meal. If you have trouble digesting milk, or you have some trouble with wheat, if you have some trouble digesting protein, find yourself getting a lot of heartburn, gastric distress, things of that nature, taking a couple of these right before you eat a meal can really help. But digestive enzymes, don't take them on an empty stomach necessarily. Take them literally, 30 seconds, 60 seconds before you dig into that first bite of breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And if you really have a lot of digestive issues, you can take these before every meal. Now, I want to contrast these with something like this. This is also an enzyme, but it's what's called a proteolytic enzyme. You'll find this in a lot of recovery type of compounds. Now, with a proteolytic enzyme, you'd want to take something like this on an empty stomach because it's an anti-inflammatory and a recovery compound. So if you see ingredients like papain, bromelain, trypsin, chymotrypsin, those are proteolytic enzymes. Take those on an empty stomach. But if you see ingredients like amylase or lipase or lactase, those are all digestive enzymes, and those are best taken with the actual meal. So there's a difference between a proteolytic enzyme and a digestive enzyme in terms of the efficacy with which they should give you when they're taken on an empty stomach versus with a meal. So with a meal for digestive enzymes, on an empty stomach for proteolytic enzymes. Okay, so here's your bonus. I didn't talk about this too much in the article at Lava Magazine, but this is an antioxidant. Now, the issue with antioxidants is that your body does need to be given a chance to actually produce its own ability to fight against free radicals. And if you're always popping antioxidants before and after workouts, you're not doing yourself any favors when it comes to enhancing your fitness or your ability for your body to bounce back on its own. So the best time to take an antioxidant would actually be at a time of day that's separate from your workout. So I'll typically take an antioxidant supplement like this is just powder, with a glass of water in the afternoon. The only exception to that would be if I'm doing a real hard race and I want my body to have that added advantage. Then I'll take an antioxidant actually before I go out there and compete. So antioxidants, just be careful with them. Don't overuse them. Use them apart from exercise as much as possible. And then before really hard sessions or races, it's okay to take an antioxidant to help your body out a little bit in the way of recovery. All right, well, I hope you got a lot out of that. If you have questions, feel free to leave them as a comment here on this page. You can also go over to the Rockstar Triathlete Academy, where we've got forums set up, training plans, more nutrition assistance, things that can kind of help you out along the way. We have a budget group coaching model over there that can give you a little bit more direction. You can also email me, ben@bengreenfieldfitness.com. If you have other things that you'd like to see me do videos on or write articles on, be sure to let me know. We'd like to give you what you want and what you need most. So until next time, this is Ben Greenfield from Lava Magazine and the Rockstar Triathlete Academy signing out.